everyone, this is Diane, and I am going to make a sewing themed card today. So the papers I chose are this one, which is by Basic Grey, the Capella collection, and I stamped on the back side of this because I really liked it, and of course it matches the background of the front. So that's what I used for part of the card. And then this is Kaiser Craft, and this is called Dancing Jewel. And I liked the way these two went together. So those are the two papers I'm going to use. I started playing around with the card a little bit, and before I knew it, I'd pretty much almost done the card, so I had to stop. I was trying to get a few things done, and I got a little carried away. But this is the card base. It's just brown cardstock. I've taken a corner rounder, rounded the edges, added the Basic Grey paper, left a little bit of a border right here, and then I glued down some black rickrack. So that's going to be the base of the card. And then I decided to use these two stamps. This one is by, let's see, I think it's Impression Obsession. Yeah, this one is by Impression Obsession, little dress form stamp. And then this one is by Printworks, and it says, "Love your smile, love your style." But I'm only going to use the bottom line, so I only inked up the "Love your style." I didn't use this part. I might stamp that up, though, and put it on the inside of the card. So I took the back side of the Basic Grey, stamped the dress form on it, and then I took just a little piece of cream lace, and I sprayed it with Lindy Stamp Gang. This color is called Van Dyke Sepia. I sprayed that and got this color here. So that's how we got that. Then I tucked it, kind of tucked it under, and then I glued it down on top of the dress form. Then I took some 1/8 inch ribbon in two colors and made the little belt. And then what did I do next? I took this little white flower, and I sprayed it with the Glimmer Mist. This color is actually called Sand, and got this color. And then I took a Copic marker and just dotted the center of the flower. So I layered all that on, then I layered it onto the little dress form, added a little purple bling jewel, because there's a little bit of purple in this right here. I only used the 2 layers at first, the 2 browns. And the reason I did that is I didn't want to have to try to put these little snaps or machine stitch through so many thicknesses. So originally I put these 2 little snaps on here through 2 layers, and it's just the regular sew-on snaps that you use that you find in your fabric department. And it just didn't look like it had enough, and I wasn't sure how well it would stick. So after I poked the holes and used the little snaps, before I put this top part on, I actually put a little bit of glossy accent there so that it would kind of glue the snap to the bottom snap, just to make sure it stayed. Looked a little plain, so then I took my machine and I did a zigzag stitch, and to hide the ends I actually added 2 more snaps. They're a different height than this one. These are a little bit lower, these are a little bit higher, but it's okay. So I think that's everything there. Then I added, everything's inked with, has a brown ink around the edges, added a darker brown layer, and then I added the Kaiser Craft and rounded the edges of that. So that's how I got that layer. And that's when I realized I was almost done with the card and I needed to stop. So now we'll get it put together. And I was thinking of putting it together like this, but it hides so much of that rickrack, and I really like that rickrack. So I think I'll put it together that direction instead, and it shows more of that rickrack. I wanted different sewing elements on here, like the machine stitching and the snaps and the rickrack, so I think we'll do that. But before I do that, I'm going to need to get my ribbon going here and get a little bow. So let's get that tied. And then I want to pull it straight because I want to tuck that under that layer. So I want this ribbon to go straight. So we'll pop that off. There we go. Okay, now the problem I have is I don't have layers to hide this ribbon underneath. and I usually do that. So I'm going to have to wrap this around the inside of the card and decide. Actually, if this is on the inside of the card, I don't want that ribbon at the very bottom when you first open it up, so it's going to have to go up here. So there's my ribbon. Let's see, about there. Okay, that's what we're going to have to do because I don't have layers, and I usually do have layers. So I want that about there, so let's put that down about there. Okay, so I'm going to wrap that around. It doesn't really matter where it looks like right here because it's going to be underneath the image. So we'll get that tacked down. And then we'll bring that one around, and I think I'll also add a little bit of tape just to make sure that stays down. Okay, so there's that. And now I can put that on. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, I think that's going to need to be popped up because the rickrack is sticking up. So let's add some dimensionals. Boy, I love these Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. I'm running low on those. Okay, so let's get the tape off of these. Okay, and tuck that behind that bow. Okay, that works to keep that popped up. Okay, next I have the Love Your Style that I cut off the bottom half of. And let's see if I want to round the end. You know, I could tuck that right there. If I want to round the end or have it square. I think I want to round the ends. Let's try that. So I'm going to take my corner chomper, around those ends, and then I need to finish inking that so it matches the rest, and attach my sentiment here to there we go. Okay, and I think I like that tucked in. No, I think I like it tucked in there. Now this is going to have to pop up since all that's popped up. So I'm going to have to add some more dimensionals, and I'm running low. Maybe I'll use mounting tape. How about that? Okay. So now I'll tuck that in right there. There. Now that's mounted up. And then to add a little more sewing element, I think I will add this little button. I've put a little bit of cream thread. Now I gotta decide where I want to put it. That has the most space, but I think I want it out on the edge more. So, Love Your Style. Can't decide. I like it in both places. Now I think I'll put it at the bottom. Okay. So I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue to my button and set it right there. Fix those little strings. And there we go. I think it's done. So I made most of the card ahead of time and got a little carried away and made a little too much before the video, but made the video go quicker so you didn't have to watch as long. So that's the end of the card. It's done. Thanks for watching. Bye.